Yeah, it's definitely upsetting. I don't think there's nobody in our league should be facing any sort of racism, hurtful, disrespectful.
With the WNBA season ending for many teams, there are already so many players heading overseas to play during the off-season.
Alright, let's break this down. On one side, we've got Angel Reese, all swagger and style, celebrated by the WNBA. On the other, Caitlin Clark, breaking records but getting hammered on the court. Two superstars, two totally different stories. It's like the WNBA is playing favorites, and Clark just said, "I'm out." Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to our channel. It makes such a huge difference to us. Thank you so much. Now back to the video, but here's where it gets juicy. This rivalry could have been the WNBA's ticket to the big time. Instead, it became a symbol of everything wrong with the league. Yeah, we're talking jealousy, unfair treatment, and a whole lot of missed opportunities. Stick around, because we're about to show you the insane contrast between what could have been and the mess we ended up with.
Caitlin Clark has set the all-time single-season assist record with 317 and counting.
It is wildly impressive, and there are even potentially more records to come.
Picture this. Caitlin Clark steps onto the WNBA court for the first time. The crowd's going wild and all eyes are on her. Everyone's wondering if she can bring that college magic to the pros. I mean, her college career was legendary. NCAA records, Player of the Year awards, you name it. But the WNBA, that's a whole different ballgame. Those first few games, rough. Clark struggling big time. Turnovers left and right, shots clanking off the rim, and she's getting knocked around like a pinball. It's clear she's not used to this level of physicality. These WNBA veterans, they're coming at her hard, showing no mercy to the rookie sensation. But here's where it gets good. Clark starts figuring things out. It's like a switch flips in her brain. Suddenly her passes are threading needles. Her threes are falling from the rafters, and she's seeing the court like a chess grandmaster. The Fever still aren't winning much, but Clark? She's starting to look like a bona fide star.
So Caitlin Clark broke the all-time assist record yesterday.
The facilitation that Caitlin Clark has, I think, is one of the more underrated skill sets.
You know what's wild? In just her third game, Clark dishes out 13 assists. That's the most ever for a WNBA player in their first 3 career games. And she's just getting started. Game after game, she's dropping dimes like they're going out of style. It's like she's got eyes in the back of her head or something. But it's not just the assists. Clark's starting to find her shooting stroke too. She's launching threes from way downtown and they're falling. Defenders are scrambling to close out on her. But by the time they get there, the ball's already through the net. It's like watching a video game character with the difficulty set to easy. The fans are loving it. Every game, more and more Clark jerseys are showing up in the stands. Social media is blowing up with Clark highlights. Even non-basketball fans are starting to take notice. It's like she's single-handedly dragging the WNBA into the spotlight. And then, boom, Clark breaks the rookie assist record. We're talking 236 assists in a single season. That's more than any rookie in WNBA history.
All-time scoring record in a tournament. Yes, Caitlin Clark played one more game than Cheryl Swoops, but she took less shots than Cheryl Swoops, so...
Setting her teammates up for success, and that has boded well for the Indiana Fever.
People are taking notice, big time. Sports analysts are falling over themselves to sing her praises. Some are even saying she could be the face of the league for years to come. While Clark was racking up assists, someone else was keeping score. During a highly anticipated face-off, an unexpected hit sparked a firestorm that would reshape Clark's rookie year. The question on everyone's mind, was this just tough play or something more sinister?
If you are Kennedy Carter, that was such a dumb take to make. That's on that, because besides the 3-point shooting, what does she bring to the table? And I get it. You were annoyed at Caitlin Clark. Why were you annoyed at Caitlin Clark? Because you cheap shotted her.
Let's talk about that Chicago Sky game. Clark's facing off against Angel Reese for the first time in the WNBA, and everyone's hyped. These two have history from college, and now they're bringing that rivalry to the big leagues. The arena's packed, the energy's electric, and then BAM! Out of nowhere, Kennedy Carter blindsides Clark with a brutal shoulder check. I'm not kidding, it was like watching a linebacker take out a quarterback. Clark's just waiting for an inbounds pass, minding her own business, and Carter comes flying in like a wrecking ball. The crowd goes silent for a second, then erupts in boos. You'd think the refs would be all over this, right? Nope. They call it a common foul. Clark's teammates barely even react. It's like they're all in shock. Social media explodes. Fans are posting clips of the hit, calling it the body check heard around the world. Everyone's furious, demanding the league do something. And Carter, she's not backing down. After the game, she refuses to answer questions about the incident. Instead, she hops on social media and starts trash talking Clark, calling her one-dimensional. Talk about adding fuel to the fire. You know what's wild? This wasn't just a one-time thing. Clark's getting hammered game after game. It's like there's a target on her back and every veteran in the league is taking aim. Clark even speaks out about it, saying, "I feel like I'm getting hammered and everybody is physical with me, and opponents get away with things that other people don't get away with." That's a rookie calling out the entire league.
I feel like I'm getting hammered and everybody is physical with me, and opponents get away with things that other people don't get away with. That's what Caitlin Clark said. Physical defense she's faced at the professional level and voiced frustration with the league's officiating, recently telling reporters,
"You don't see that every day." So here's the million-dollar question. How many flagrant fouls did Clark face in her rookie season? The answer might shock you. It's not just about the numbers though. It's about the message being sent. Is the WNBA really out to get Caitlin Clark? The league tries to save face by retroactively upgrading Carter's foul to a flagrant the day after the game. But let's be real, the damage is done. Fans are questioning the league's commitment to protecting its stars. Old school players are saying Clark needs to toughen up. It's turning into a full-blown media circus, with Clark caught in the middle. With Clark at the center of a media storm, ESPN's coverage took a bizarre turn. Remember all that pre-draft hype? Now they're running story after story about Clark getting bullied in the league. What caused this dramatic shift in narrative, and how did it impact the WNBA's image? ESPN's been all over Caitlin Clark since before she even stepped on a WNBA court. They hyped her up like she was the second coming of basketball Jesus. Draft coverage, special features, you name it. But now, it's like they flipped a switch. Every other segment is about how Clark's getting pushed around, how she can't handle the physicality of the pro game, and you've got talking heads debating whether Clark's too soft for the WNBA. Some are saying she needs to toughen up, while others are calling for better protection for star players. It's chaos, and Clark's caught in the middle of it all. ESPN's not just reporting the news anymore. They're stirring the pot big time. And you know what's wild? The old school players are jumping into the fray. We're talking WNBA legends, players who paved the way for this league. They're not pulling any punches. One former All-Star went on air and said, "Back in my day, we took hits and kept playing. These kids today need to learn how to take a bump." Ouch, that's some tough love right there. But it's not just about basketball anymore. This whole thing's turned into a debate about race, gender, and privilege. You've got people asking why Clark's getting so much attention when other rookies are struggling too. Some are saying it's because she's white, others are saying it's because she's a woman in a league that's fighting for respect. It's like every hot button issue in sports got tossed into a blender, and Clark's the one drinking the smoothie. The craziest part? All this drama is bringing more eyes to the WNBA than ever before. Ratings are up, social media's buzzing, and everyone's got an opinion. But at what cost? The league's looking like a mess, with players taking shots at each other in the press, and fans divided over how to handle physicality in the game. And Clark, she's trying to focus on basketball while the whole world's arguing about her. Talk about pressure. It's like she's playing two games at once, one on the court and one in the media. No wonder she's looking stressed in post-game interviews.
It's going to be nice, though, I think, getting out of the spotlight and just getting to live my life and do things that I want to do and, not have to. I feel like it's like everybody's always watching your every move, no matter what you're doing. And I love talking to all of you, but it's going to be nice to not have to sit in front of a microphone, multiple times a week. I really appreciate all of you. But
just when you thought the drama couldn't get any crazier, Clark drops a bombshell that sends shockwaves through the league. Remember how stressed she looked in those interviews? Turns out there was way more going on behind the scenes than anyone realized. While everyone's busy arguing about Clark's treatment in the WNBA, she's been quietly plotting her next move. And let me tell you, it's a doozy. Clark's been keeping her head down, focusing on her game, and trying to tune out all the noise. But behind that calm exterior, something's brewing. Rumors start swirling faster than a Clark no-look pass. Is she unhappy? Is she thinking about leaving? The Indiana Fever try to squash the gossip, saying Clark's all in, but come on, we've all seen this movie before. Where there's smoke, there's usually fire. Then, bam! The news hits like a blindside screen. Clark signed a deal to play in Europe. That's right, the WNBA's Golden Girl is taking her talents across the pond. Can you believe it? The league's biggest draw, the one they've been hyping up non-stop, is bouncing after just one season. You know what's wild? Clark actually seems relieved about stepping away from the spotlight. She even said, it's gonna be nice to not have to sit in front of a microphone multiple times a week. That's the sound of someone who's been feeling the pressure big time. And can you blame her? Clark's been getting hammered on the court all season. She straight up called out the league, saying, I feel like I'm getting hammered and everybody is physical with me, and opponents get away with things that other people don't get away with. That's not just rookie jitters talking. That's someone who's fed up with the whole situation. The stats back her up too.
Who broke the rookie scoring record for a season yesterday when she dropped 35 points en route to a 110-109 victory over the Dallas Wings. Caitlin Clark has personally received 17% of the flagrant fouls called.
Get this, Clark received 177% of the WNBA's flagrant fouls during her rookie season. And here's the kicker, 80% of those were committed by one team, the Chicago Sky. It's like they had a personal vendetta against her or something. So Clark confirms she's taking a break from the WNBA circus, and suddenly the league's in full-on panic mode. Their golden goose is flying the coop, and they're scrambling to figure out what to do next. It's like they never saw it coming, even though the signs were there all along. So Caitlin Clark's WNBA journey has been like a wild roller coaster, and we're just getting started. The league's facing a huge decision: protect and promote their stars, or watch them walk away. Clark's move to Europe is a wake-up call. The WNBA needs to step up its game big time. What's next for Clark and the WNBA? Who knows, but it's gonna be interesting. Maybe she'll come back stronger than ever, maybe the league will finally get its act together, or maybe this is just the beginning of a whole new era in women's basketball. One thing's for sure, we'll be glued to our screens watching every second of it unfold. The drama's just too good to miss.